We've all heard the famous tagline, "In space, no one can hear you scream." It's the golden rule of sci-fi cinema. Space is a vacuum. Without air, there is no medium for sound waves to travel. No air, no vibration, no sound. Which means the cosmos should be a graveyard of absolute silence. But that is a lie. If you could step outside a spaceship without a helmet and somehow survive the freezing cold and lethal radiation, you wouldn't hear nothing. Depending on where you stood, you might hear a roar louder than a jet engine, a ghostly whistle, or a hum so low it holds the record for the deepest note ever produced in the history of the universe. The truth is terrifying and beautiful. The universe is not silent, it is screaming. Today, we are going to listen. To understand the sounds of space, we first have to break the myth of the perfect vacuum. While it's true that space contains vast regions of emptiness, it is not completely empty. Space is filled with gas, dust, and plasma. In some places, like planetary atmospheres or massive clouds of gas, there's enough matter for traditional sound waves to travel. But the real noise of the universe comes in a form our ears were never built to hear. Electromagnetic waves. Think of it like a radio. Radio waves move through the vacuum in total silence. But when your car radio catches them, it translates that invisible data into sound. NASA's instruments do the same thing. They capture plasma waves, magnetic vibrations, and radio emissions from across the cosmos and convert them into audible frequencies. So what you're about to hear aren't just computer simulations. They are real data from the universe, made audible. And the first stop on our journey is the monster sitting right in our own backyard. The sun is a nuclear inferno. Every second it fuses 600 million tons of hydrogen into helium. That violence creates pressure waves that constantly crash through the sun's interior. If space were filled with air, allowing sound to travel from the sun all the way to Earth, it wouldn't feel like gentle warmth. Despite being 93 million miles away, the noise of the sun would strike Earth at roughly 100 decibels. That's as loud as a chainsaw or a rock concert, roaring constantly, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. We would never know silence. Fortunately, the vacuum of space saves our ears. But through the science of heliosismology, scientists have captured the sun's vibrations. Listen to this. It sounds less like fire and more like a heartbeat. This is the sound of a star breathing. But as we move farther out, the sounds stop being rhythmic and start becoming haunting. When the Voyager spacecraft passed Jupiter, it recorded the interaction between the solar wind and Jupiter's massive magnetosphere. The result is what NASA calls the Jupiter chorus. And it doesn't sound like a planet. It sounds like a sci-fi sound effect from the 1960s. Or maybe like whales communicating deep underwater. Saturn is even stranger. The Cassini spacecraft captured radio emissions from Saturn's auroras, the same phenomenon as our northern lights. On Earth, auroras are mostly silent to us, but on Saturn they represent a complex interaction of plasma waves. When shifted into the human audible range, Saturn sounds exactly like a horror movie soundtrack. It's cold, distant, and undeniably alien. But remember, these are radio waves converted into sound. So is there any place in space where you could hear actual sound with your own ears? Yes. You just need to land on Mars. Unlike the gas giants, Mars has an atmosphere. It's thin, about 1% the density of Earth's, but it is there. And where there is air, there is wind. In 2021, NASA's Perseverance rover turned on its microphone. For the first time in history, humans listened to the wind blowing on another world. Notice how muffled it sounds? Because Mars's atmosphere is mostly carbon dioxide and extremely thin, high-pitched sounds are absorbed quickly. If you stood on Mars and screamed at your friend 10 meters away, they might not hear you. The planet itself acts as a natural sound dampener, creating a lonely, bass-heavy silence, broken only by the gusts of alien storms. But let's leave the solar system. Let's go to deep space, where the most terrifying sound ever discovered is waiting. In 2003, astronomers pointed the Chandra X-ray Observatory toward the Perseus galaxy cluster, 250 million light-years away. There, they noticed ripples in the hot gas that fills the cluster. Those ripples were sound waves, real, physical sound waves. At the center of it all, a supermassive black hole was humming. By measuring the distance between the ripples, scientists determined the pitch of the note. It's a B-flat, but not a B-flat you could ever play on a piano. This note is 57 octaves below middle C. For perspective, the human ear can hear about 10 octaves. This sound is 1,000,000 billion times deeper than the lowest frequency a human can perceive. It is so low, it has been playing for 2.5 billion years, heating the galaxy around it. Recently, NASA remixed this data, scaling the pitch up by 57 octaves so we could hear it. Warning: this audio is unsettling. It sounds like the wailing of ghosts trapped in the void. This is the sound of gravity itself, tearing matter apart. We have moved from the roar of the sun to the whisper of pulsars. But why does this matter? Why do scientists spend time turning data into noise? It's called sonification. Humans are visual creatures, but sometimes our eyes miss patterns that our ears can catch. By turning data into sound, astronomers can detect fluctuations in plasma or strange rhythms in stellar flares that graphs might hide. But beyond the science, there is a deeper truth. The universe is not a static, dead painting. It is dynamic. It vibrates. It pulses. From the rhythmic spinning of neutron stars to the chaotic collisions of black holes, sending gravitational waves, ripples in the very fabric of space-time across the cosmos. When LIGO detected gravitational waves for the first time, it was described as hearing the universe chirp. For the first time, we weren't just looking at the stars, we were listening to them. So the next time you look up at the night sky and enjoy the peace and quiet, remember, it is an illusion. The silence is simply a limitation of your ears, not a lack of activity. Out there in the dark, stars are screaming, planets are whistling, and black holes are singing the deepest songs in existence. The cosmos is a symphony of violence and creation. We are just now learning how to tune in. If you enjoyed listening to the hidden sounds of the universe, make sure to hit that like button. Which space sound did you find the most terrifying? The black hole or Saturn? Let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and keep looking and listening up.